If you don't know moi, I am Monique Bryan. Why do I gotta say it like that? I'm so extra. Anyways, that's fine. You know when people used to call you things and it used to bug you? Like when people used to call me extra, that used to get on my blinking nerves, like from time. But now it's like I embrace it. I am who I am. This is me. If you don't like it, you won't be on the live, right? We've got Yorkville, Toronto, Ohio, Cincinnati, Louisiana's in the house. Yes, so one thing I will say, and Florida is in the house. Nice. Look at the US coming, representing. Yeah, embrace who you are, people. The minute, oh, you know what's funny? So I was at the event on Saturday, great group of gals. It was wonderful conversation. You know when you go places and you're just not too sure about people? It was nothing like that. No bad vibes. Everyone was there to help everybody else. Like we're just like loving on each other, right? Which was great. But hey, Mileto, welcome. Dilathan. I can't even read nothing, okay? But like I am Delathan. I think I'm not saying it right. I'm so butchering your name. I am so sorry. Please put your name in because I'm very curious how I pronounce your name. Arlene, welcome. Okay, so listen, I was at the event on Saturday and I was talking to the photographer, Jody Ann, go look her up too. And she said, Monique, you know, because we were talking a lot about stories and lives and getting on your lives. And I'm going to skip all the way to the bottom, give you the first tip that Christy Jackson gave was, if you want to increase your following, your audience, and your awareness, get on your lives. And she said almost daily. Like if you're new to this Instagram game, get on your lives daily. You get discovered by new people way faster than you ever will being discovered through your Instagram feed. Tip numero uno, get on your lives. And what I realized is I'm not even doing enough lives, right? So you guys knew I was teaching for last semester for like 4 months. And now I'm not. Okay, listen, I like teaching, but I didn't love it. I loved the teaching point aspect, but I didn't like the marking aspect. Anyways, so now I have time. But before that, I was going live at least twice a week. And before that, 3 times a week. And I found my engagement has decreased since I've only been coming on Mondays. So oh my God, I was going to save this till the end. Oh my God, I'm so excited. There's so many things going on. Sorry. I'm going to be going back to twice a week. We're going to be doing the Dirty 30 again, twice a week. I'm going to pick the day. It's either going to be Thursday or Friday. So stay tuned for that. We will be going twice a week. Can you imagine? Twice a week you're going to get me? Anyways, okay. So my point was, I'm speaking to Jody Ann and she's like, Monique, how do you get so comfortable on your live? And I said to her, the day I started to embrace however I am and give no shits to what other people thought, I showed up like me. And then I started loving my lives. I love being here with you guys. Like, it's like you're here in my like spare room / office, right? With me. But in the beginning, you've got to practice, right? So I was on there and in the beginning, it wasn't as authentic as it is today because I was just getting used to it. I was holding the phone. I didn't have a tripod, so I couldn't use my hands. And I need to use my hands to get my point across, right? So that was my main thing to her. It was like, embrace who you are. So when people say, Monique, you're so extra, I'd be like, yes, and this is moi. We have enough boring, non-extra people around. You need a little extra sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Okay, good. So you got your first tip. Go live more. Go live more. Hey, Steph. Welcome everybody who's joining. I'm sorry if I missed you. Okay. So get your notepad. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. So some of you know I went to Facebook headquarters last week with the community of Make Lemonade. If you don't know them, check them out. They are a co-working space in Toronto. And it's not just about being a co-working space. I love them because they are about community and they put things like this together. I was like, of course I want to go to Facebook head office. I spend so much blinking time marketing via social media. Of course I want to go to like the place where they make it all happen, right? So went there and they did a masterclass for Instagram. So I'm going to share with you some of the tips and I can't share all of it because we don't have enough time, but now they're going to be going twice a week. No, we still aren't going to cover it. And we may do a part 2, but I don't think so. Anyways, so I'm going to share some of the tips from the Instagram team, like from the horse's mouth. Okay. So first thing you guys want to get is there are 500 million active users of Instagram on stories daily. 500 million. Guys, let me tell you something. This whole masterclass, I thought it was going to be all about the different parts of Instagram. No, it was all about stories. All about stories. What does that tell you? Stories are going to be the thing. That's it. Stories are blowing up. So if you are not spending time on your stories and you're wondering why people aren't liking your stuff on your feed, and we'll get it. I don't know if I'm going to get into the whole likes thing that's happening with Instagram, because that's not important. Because think about it. Stories don't have likes. They don't have likes. So it doesn't really, you're not measuring how many people love you by looking at it. The stories is a place to be authentic, to share the behind the scenes, to people to get to know your personality. Stories and lives. Guys, that's all I want to talk about. Stories and lives. Stories and lives. What did I say? Stories and lives. Hashtag that. Okay, good. So if you're not on your stories, you are missing out on a huge opportunity, because that is a lot of eyeballs. Okay, so some stats for you. 80% of accounts on Instagram follow businesses in their stories. 1 of 3 the most viewed stories are business stories. So if you run a business, if you are launching whatever, people are looking for you. People are looking for you, right? And 60% or more of story videos are viewed with the sound on. And I'll get into why that is important, right? Because we're going to talk a little bit about how to curate these things online. So I'm not going to talk about the whole likes thing. We're not going to get into that. So some of the things, there were 3 main things around the creative that the woman who was presenting on Instagram told us to look at. So first is creative consideration. Capture attention quickly with your story. So we're talking stories, guys. So you've got she says you've got 15 seconds to grab someone's attention. That is well, you've got that one story clip is 15 seconds, but in the first 3 seconds, somebody has to be interested to keep damn well watching. Oh my God, I hope my thing is not frozen, because that's going to be really bad. Okay, good. I hope you guys can see me. If you can see me, somebody put a thing in the thing. Okay, good. Or maybe you'll have to have Instagram and Facebook going at the exact same time. Okay, good. So you need to capture thank you, Mileto. You have to capture someone's attention in the first 3 seconds, right? Then the design, when you're designing okay, it froze, but it's back. Oh my God, we cannot have this freezing. This is so much going on. Wi-Fi, don't mess with me. Okay, good. So when you're designing your stories, you want to design it as if somebody could watch it with the sound off. So this was really important to me, because I don't always put little captions on top of video with sound. But if 60% of people are watching it with the sound off, for whatever reason, maybe they're at work, I'm not going to say they're driving, but maybe they're doing something where they can't have the sound on. You want to be thinking about that when you're creating your stories, right? Because you want to be putting little captions so people know what this thing is they're talking about, and they just don't watch it. And then what was the other thing? You want to make sure that whatever it is in your stories, you're utilizing the full landscape of the phone, right? You want to always be thinking mobile first, which means looking at it portrait. This is how people are watching video a lot more than they used to be, right? It used to be all landscape, where you're watching TV like this, you're watching YouTube like this, you're watching Facebook like this, but our phones are in our hands more than anything else. So you want to be thinking about, when you're building your story, are you using your real estate effectively? Then the other thing she was talking about is stickers. So those GIFs and stickers and all of those things, if you use them appropriately, they get more interaction than things without GIFs and stickers. People like the playfulness, things that emphasize your point, the interactiveness. So you want to be thinking about your posts and be like, are these interactive? Are they playful? Hey, Renata, all of that stuff. Jesse's in the house. So think about that when you're creating stories. So I'm going to be going fast because there's a lot to cover. If you have questions, put them in the comments. But this is all about note-taking, guys. Take your note-taking. Stories have changed mobile storytelling and how brands come to life. Mobile has changed mobile storytelling and how brands come to life. So think about that when you're creating. People are looking at whatever you're creating on their phone, right? How do you like to look at things? So stories inspire three different actions. They probably inspire other things, but this was their main point, okay? Main point was awareness. 58% become more interested in a brand from seeing them on their stories. Consideration, 58% browse the brand's website after seeing them on stories. And conversion, 1 in 2 visits to the website are for people who are looking to buy. Like, they are looking to buy if they visit your website. So again, if you are a business, hey Cheryl, you are a business, think about it. Are you using your stories? If you're not using them, start using them, at least to practice, right? If you don't have a lot of following, no one's looking at you anyway. So now is the perfect time to practice. Are you using the landscape? Are you using GIFs and stickers? Are you teaching something, educating, inspiring something? And I'm going to be integrating some stuff we learned at the Instagram headquarters, and then some stuff I learned from Christy Jackson on this Saturday. So it's going to be all intertwined. But Christy was like, guys, every single time you post, you're supposed to be posting with purpose, right? What call to action do you have at the end of everything you post? So if you're posting a story and it's 5 separate clips, you want to complete the circle for people. Where did it start? What's the middle? And how did it end? Don't leave people in limbo. Don't be like, I'm going to the most amazing event, and then you don't cover the event, or you don't even finish the event. Give a recap of the event, or even just say, the end, it was amazing, whatever. Complete the loop. Think about it. If you're watching a television show and you're getting all invested in it, and then there's no ending, it just stops. You're like, what the heck? You're not invested, right? We want people invested in what we're doing in the event. Like you guys, some of you guys I had to do a lot of later posting for the event yesterday because I was so engaged in the conversation, but I did finish it, right? Like I did finish it before the end of the day. You guys knew how the event went, who was there, how much I love Christy. Patrina was amazing, all of the food that was on the table, and what I thought of it, the end. Right? So, hey, Shondell. So complete the circle for people in your stories. Please do not leave people hanging. Okay? Okay, good. What else? Okay, so I know there's a lot of conversation around, oh my gosh, I don't know what to post. It's not going to look professional. And I did a poll last week where I asked you guys, why don't you post more? Things like that. And the reality is, there is no one formula for how to post and what the creative should look like. And this is from Instagram themselves saying, even them, they test and learn, test and learn, test and learn. Are you willing to make some mistakes and test and learn, right? When I started the live, guys, it was all test and learn. I didn't plan what I was going to say. I do now, but I didn't plan what I was going to say. I didn't plan what I was going to wear. I was wearing some random stuff. I didn't have a tripod. I didn't have the right lighting. I was sitting in my kitchen, so it was causing a lot of echo. Like, it was just a little bit of a hot mess. But you guys didn't even really care. You were just like, as long as you're giving value, that's all that matters. So Christy, what she said yesterday, she was like, do you want to see my production studio? And she held up her smartphone and her tripod. She's like, someone get me my purse. In her purse is her tripod, and she's got her phone. She's like, that's it. That is my production studio. She's like, so there's no excuse for, I don't have a lot of money to make quality videos. Ain't nobody want to hear that. Just get to recording. Capture your story. People want to know what the heck is going on. They don't need a completely polished version of it all the time. They actually want to be part of the journey. People want to be part of it. Some of you guys who've known me from like 2 years ago when we started this, like you guys saw the progression, right? Like I literally had 200 followers. No, that's a lie. I had 400 followers, and most of them had come over from my personal Instagram. And then I grew it to where it is today, right? So you've been through the journey with me. You guys are on my journey with me, right? I take you where I go, right? Thanks, Steph. Yes. Okay, good. So what else? So we talked about sound and not sound, right? So you want to be able to make your stories as in thinking about it as if the sound was off. Does it still get across exactly what you want to be saying? And then the other flip side is, if there's no sound, could you be adding sound? So they talked a lot about voiceovers, and especially if you do ads for Instagram, like video ads for the stories, to have a voiceover, not just to have text and overlay and all of that. People want to hear things, have that option. So to think about that. And we know voice is going to become a bigger trend going forward. Like, think about podcasts, right? Voice is a trend. It's going towards voice. Why? Because we're doing multiple things at once and we want to be able to hear it. We don't want to have to look at the screen if we don't want to, right? Okay, good. So what else? Okay, so we talked about recommend crafting creative that gets people's attention quickly. Facebook stories are growing as well. So think about that, right? You've got Instagram stories, but Facebook also has stories. Facebook owns Instagram. So as the stories progress over here, the stories are going to be progressing over there. So don't forget about Facebook. And like I was telling you guys today, that is why I am now live streaming to Facebook, and I am going to make this a regular thing, because I don't need to set, look, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Where's my attention? Yes, I'm over here on Instagram because that's where my dominant audience is. But I am going to be live streaming to Facebook. Why? Double the exposure. Eyeballs, 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 eyeballs. I want as many eyeballs on you as possible. Now, to quote Christy, she's like, it takes 7... Was it Chrissy? No. You know what? You know who said this? Kat Gatskin, the creator of the content planner, who was on here. She's like, it takes somebody 7 to 8 times to see you before they even think about buying something from you. 7 to 8 times. So that means you can't just be posting on your feed and pop up on your story whenever the hell you feel like it. Consistency. Seeing my face enough times has you now be like, I like her. She's fine. Or it's the opposite. You're like, nah, she ain't my speed. And then you'll stop following, hopefully, because I don't want anyone following me who isn't going to be part of the tribe. What's the point, right? It skews all the numbers. I just want I want us to be on the same page, right? And that's why for you guys, if you ever are worried about losing followers, let people lose you, okay? You don't want them if you're not for them, okay? Okay, good. So let's continue. We talked about call to action. Okay, call to action all the time. So we talked about closing the loop, but call to action for your audience. So guys, if you're on my email list, I emailed you this morning and I said, I'm going to be going live. This is what I'm going to be talking about. Tune in at 11. That's a call to action. It doesn't always have to be buy my stuff, book it, or whatever, but you need to tell them to do something, whether that's DM me, hit me up, join my email list, book a session, do polls and ask opinions. Like, tell people what you want them to do. And I'm even guilty of not doing that enough. I don't always have a call to action for you guys. I'm just like, share, share, share. But that's not actually how it should be done, right? Like, you want to be having people do something, take an action, because you're delivering something of value. So what do you want them to go do with it now? Tell them to do something. So Christy was like, give them a call to action all the time and stop worrying about being salesy. She's actually said, she's like, that's a Canadian thing. She's like, we don't have that problem. Okay? You're in business. You're selling something. People are not idiots. They know that. So she's like, just stop thinking about it and do what you got to do. The end. Okay, so I'm going to throw something in that has nothing to do necessarily with Instagram that she said that I just have to share. She was like, please, people, stop telling women. She's like, stop. She's like, how many people in here want to empower women and help them find their purpose? And a few of us raised our hands. I was like, yeah, I want to do that, like indirectly. But she was like, listen, stop telling people you want to help them find their purpose and empower them. She's like, it is such an overdone statement that nobody can hear it. You don't stand out when you do that. So luckily, I don't actually say that in my copy, but what she's saying is to stop saying it in your copy. Stop saying it on your website. Stop saying it in your captions. Stop saying it. She's like, women have their purpose. You don't need to help them go find their purpose. What tangible things are you going to give them to do? Are you going to help them go make money? Are you going to help increase their following? Are you going to help them get more clients? What are you going to do? Tangible results. I was laughing so friggin' hard because she's so right. She was like, stop using common language that everyone else is using. Otherwise, the majority of the people can't hear you because they're so used to seeing the same exact words. And I was like, yes. So think about that. I want you to look at your bios after this, guys, and do an audit. You guys know I do the audits. We're going to go back to doing some audits now that I'll be coming back twice a week. And she's like, stop using those words. So what words are you using that are like buzzwords that everyone's using all the time so you don't stand out at all? And then ask yourself, what tangible results am I going to give to my audience? And I was like, this is so good. Like, she was giving us such great takeaways. And she said, well, if you guys will look at the post I posted yesterday on my feed, I did talk about, like, I think it was like her 6 top quotes I wanted to like post there. You did the audit. Love it. What was I saying? Do the audit. Oh, go look at your bios and redo your bios. Who do you help? What do you do? Why does anybody care? What does it matter? Okay? And then what do you want them to do? What's the call to action? All of that should fit in your 114 characters in your bio for Instagram. I'm just saying. If you need some help, go look at my bio. I updated it again. So when I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, well, if I had to look at what tangible things I give away, it's like we actually come up with the messaging for your brand. I was like, okay, that is a key tangible takeaway. If you don't know how to articulate what you do, no one can hear you. I know that. So I was like, that's something they get. Then if they join my 4-month program, I know we're going to put together their brand guide. They'll have all of their colors and their visuals. I know they're going to have their tagline. I know they're going to have their business cards. I know we're going to put together a photo shoot. So they're going to have branding assets to use across their different platforms. These are takeaways. But here's the thing. I always did these things, but I didn't always tell everybody that's what I did. So I don't know what that was about. There were pieces I would tell, but not the whole enchilada. There's no more not telling the enchilada. Just go with it. Okay? We're giving away the whole enchilada about what we do, guys. I want all of you guys to make that your rule for the rest of 2019. I tell everybody what I do all the time. That's your statement. I tell people what I do all the time, and I am always pitching because anyone could be a potential customer or know someone who could be. Because, guys, here's the thing. If we're not making money, we can't give our gifts to the people who need them, and we will not be in business. The end. Good. Okay. What else? So she put everyone to a challenge that if you are new to Instagram and you don't have much of a following and you're trying to get visibility because it's all about eyeballs, to do 30 days of lives. So it was funny she said that because if you guys know, if you've been there from the beginning, if you found me in my first 30 days, I did 30 days of lives. The Dirty 30 started 2 years ago in January doing 30 days because I needed to get comfortable, used to it, sitting in the right chair, all kinds of stuff I learned in that first 6 months to a year. But 30 days got me comfortable. So it doesn't have to be 30 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It could be live on your stories. I don't care what it is, guys. But if you are struggling and wondering why people don't know about you, then I don't want to hear no complaining. And she said, listen, I don't want to hear no one complain about nothing. She's like, because business, whoever told them business was easy was lying. This is not supposed to be comfortable. It's enjoyable, but not comfortable. So get uncomfortable. She's like, she was talking so many gems. She was like, there's so many things I hate to do, but I do them because it's required in my business. It's required in my life. She's like, she was talking about how she's an introvert. She hates going live. She hates the sound of her voice. Like all of these things. And you look at this beautiful, regal like successful, you know, 7-figure earner. And you would like, really? But you do all of these lives. She's like, yeah, and I hate it, but I do it. She's like, I don't like getting my picture taken. I don't like looking at the camera. I was like, so weird. And she does it. So no excuses. Just get it done. How bad do you want it? And I haven't said that in a long time. I wish Zeta was on here because that's what I say. And she's like, yeah, Monique, you haven't said that in a while. How bad do you want it? Okay, good. What else? She said, if you have something you want to teach, the best way to get it across is by telling it through a story. That's how people remember. So you guys know I'm all about the storytelling, right? So I thought that was very key because she used stories to explain whatever it was that she wanted us to know. And it's unforgettable. Like you can't forget the story now. So that was another tip. Guy, we're just full of tips. Okay, we got like 2 minutes. Ooh, this is a good one. She said, you can't start creating until you know who you're creating for. Boom. Facts. Thank you. Yes. Hello. I was like, oh my God. That is like, just like in a nutshell, exactly what you need to know at the end. That's it in a nutshell. You can't start creating until you know who you're creating for. If you don't know who your audience, if you don't know who you'd like to attract, how the heck are you going to, no wonder you're paralyzed. No wonder you can't build anything. Big piece. So if you're left with anything today, I'm going to tell you, start getting on your stories and start getting to know your audience or start building your audience by getting on your damn stories and getting on your lives. If you're really serious, do the 30 days of live, guaranteed you will get tons of new followers. Know who you're creating for before you start creating. Who would you and it could change, but who would you love to be watching your lives, to be interacting with, to be buying your services? Who is that person? And you need to write it down. Like I've got a whole, you see these big stickies behind me? I got one whole sticky dedicated to my customer. Who she is, what's her life, and pick an exact, like it's a real person I've worked with. I didn't even realize she was my ideal until I was like, you the one, sis. I want to work with 10. The way you know, my coach said to me, which client do you have that if you duplicated her by 10, you would be happy? I was like, oh, I know exactly who it is. So I wrote down everything I know about her so I can see it 24/7. I'm like, that's my customer right there. That's it. So yeah, Shondell, you're going to do 30 days for sure. Go get it. Go get it. Yes, guys, I got so fired up on Saturday. I was ready to take on my business in a whole new way. Like I've been doing some behind the scenes stuff you guys don't know about yet, but I really left like ignited. So I got to go because I'm packing. I'm taking a little away staycation. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm going out of town for a couple of days. But I'm still like, it's if I'm still here because I'm just going to be working from where I am. I just needed a change of scenery and I'm going with my homegirl and we're going to go and eat croissant.